So guys, as you saw, the exhaust manifold is already installed, and I installed this cover over here. It wasn't a big deal, but I needed to mount this before I proceed with the mounting of the head. Now I have to finish everything by installing the new cartridge. It is a simple procedure. I first have to mount this piece like this, which is simple. I don't know if you remember, but there is this bracket that secures this thing behind. It sits behind this like that, and that is all. And then I'm gonna install it on this side just like that. There are these two metal pieces over here with the screws that secure this in place, and that is all about mounting. So what I'm left is this turbo cartridge, as you remember, that I bought, and then I have this is the gasket for the intake manifold, the gasket for the rocker cover. Over here the final cover of the head, the valve cover. So of course the gasket that is for the head, and between the head and the cylinder block, and we have the new bolts over here. These are shock absorber assembly kit, as you see, and they are for the front shock absorbers. I may end up skipping this part for now. So these are all the parts that I have to install in the car at this point. This is one of the reasons I didn't want to shoot this part, because I have to adapt some of the parts. This nozzle is from hydraulic systems, and this is what I could find, because I don't know if you remembered, but on the original one this port is 12 millimeter, on this one is 14 millimeter, so I have to find this replacement. And now I have problem. Since this is for hydraulic, the sides of the nozzle are not meant to be fitted this way. They are meant to be fitted with this type of pipes, or I don't know how this is called, and it is like that. And this part over here seals it when it fits with this part. But in my case I have to find a solution to this over here, and I don't know how I'm gonna fit this properly. This is the tightest fit possible, but it's still, when it gets here, it moves around a lot and there are gaps, so it doesn't fit. And you can see that there is not much that I can do about this, because there isn't much space left over here. It is always a good idea to mark the position of these pieces, because they have to be aligned the proper way. So on this piece I have this mark over here, and I actually made mark down here as well. I tried to use a few marks, so I'm gonna be sure the correct position. I'm gonna assemble this the proper way, and since I have made marks on this part as well, there is this mark over here that is in the middle of this hole. It is for the two marks have to be aligned. So now on the new piece, that mark is actually this mark over here. I don't have to make another one. I'm going to use this part. It is not in the middle. I'm gonna just correct this a little bit. I'm gonna correct this little bit because it has to be somewhere over here. Anyway, so now I just align them properly, and that is it. Just like that. And this bracket secures it in place, and this is all. Now I'll find a way to get this back in. As you can see, it won't be an easy task. It would have been better if I had bigger pliers like this, but I don't have, and obviously most of the times when I face a challenge that I don't have the proper tool, it is annoying, but we can't have it all. So I'm gonna struggle a bit and I'm gonna get this in. it feels very discouraging to do this. I don't remember. I did this thing once and it was very easy to get it in, but I don't remember how I did that time, and that is even more annoying. It is more difficult because this is not the average bracket that is, I don't know if you can see this. Over here she is perfectly straight, but on this side there is this sharpened edge that has to fit and tighten the cartridge to this outer part, but that makes it even more difficult to get this in place. So guys, I ended up borrowing two different types of pliers. These are my pliers, as you remember, hopefully, and I got this. So here is the difference, how much bigger are these ones. So I'm hoping that with them I'm gonna be able to install this bracket right away. Finally, it worked like a charm. Everything is assembled. Yup, I can proceed with the other parts. The final piece is this little bracket that goes over here, and this is not the original one. When I first disassembled this turbine, there was no lock over here, no bracket, and I was barely able to find one from another turbine. And this time when I disassembled it, I was kind of distracted, and I decided that it is not all that important to pay attention what I'm doing with the original one, the one that I had found, and ended up losing it. So I searched a bit to finally find this one, and hopefully this is gonna work. So as I said, this is gonna be the final piece, and everything over here is gonna be assembled. This I'm gonna leave it, this part of this bracket I'm gonna leave like this, because actually there is another piece that goes in between, and once that piece is fitted, then I'm gonna tighten this bracket, because it has to be tightened properly according to that piece. I just realized that I can install this shield as well, because usually it sits over here and on top of the manifold, but I usually install it once I get the head back in its place, but there is no problem to install it right now. It is gonna be a lot easier. This was the last piece that I had to add. Over here is a line, this thin pipe that oils the valve bearings, but I'm gonna leave that for last, because when we install the head, it is gonna be better. I'm gonna have some help, and since it is way too heavy, I'm gonna leave this for now, because I don't want to damage it when we install the head, and that is not a problem. So as you can see, now everything is already mounted, and I know it looks weird and it is kind of strange to assemble the head this way, but because of the turbine I was forced to get this head off the engine, and I had to replace the gasket anyway, but I waited till the very last moment. This is very uncomfortable to assemble and disassemble this head, because of the type of the engine and the position inside of the engine bay and the dimensions inside of it. The only way to get this turbine out, according to what I see in there, is to take the head off the engine along with the turbine, or to remove the whole engine, or to get the subframe down, and then possibly, just maybe, it is possible to get the turbine out of the engine bay without dismounting the head or the whole engine. It is so strange. There is no room at all to move this around, to do anything. Anyway, you saw what I had to do and the additional steps that I took to make this head a little bit more special. So I have mounted everything, and the only thing now is to assemble the head itself.